Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai, Skonsastabhakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Jayam Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Shri Srimati Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Shiva Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Sikaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinata Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti-Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pachanine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vishakadesha Tarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 88. Lord Shiva saved from Vrika Asura. Text 6, 7, and 8. Translation purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Nivritteshvashva medeshu Raja Yushmat Pitamaha Shrinman Bhagavato Dharman Aprichat idam achyutam Sa'aha Bhagavans Tasmai Pritak Shushushave Prabhu Nrinam Nishreya Sarthaya Yovatirno Yalokule Sri Bhagavanu Vacha Yasyaham Anugrinami Parishye Tadhanang Shanai Tato Dhanang Tyayantyasya Svajana Dukha Dukhitam Sri Bhagavanu Vacha Yasyaham Anugrinami Parishye Tadhanang Shanai Tato Dhanang Tyajantyasya Svajana Dukha Dukhitam Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Yasyaham Anugrinami Arisheta Dhanang Shanai Tato Dhanang Tyajantyasya Svajana Dukha Dukhitam Sri Bhagavanu Vacha. The personality of Godhead said,
Божествената личност казва.
Божествената личност казва.
Yasya whom
На когото
aham I
аз
anugrinami favor
благосклонност
harishye
Харише,
I will take away
ще му отнема
ще му отнема.
tat
Да,
his
неговото
dhanam wealth
богатство.
богатство.
shanai
Шанай,
gradually
постепенно.
tataha
Татаха,
then
Тогава
тогава.
aranam
Аранам,
poor
беден,
беден.
tyajanti
тяжелти,
abandon
изоставят.
asya
Ася,
his
Него
svajana
свържа
relatives and friends
роднини и приятели.
роднини, приятели.
dukha dukitam
Духа, духитам,
who suffers one distress after another.
Който страда болка след болка.
който страда болка за друга.
So, before this verse, there are two verses. This is the answer to a question by Parikshit Maharaj to Shukadeva Goswami.
Отговор към въпрос на Парикшит Махарадж от Шукадева Госвами.
So he had heard in the previous chapter that one should surrender to Krishna.
В предишната глава той научи, че трябва да се отдаде на Кришна.
And he was a little bit bewildered
И той бил малко объркан.
that if one surrenders to Krishna, then one does not enjoy wealth and sense gratification. And if one surrenders to demigods like Shiva, then one becomes very rich. So how is that?
Човек се отдаде на Кришна, страда и може да се наслаждава, докато се отдаде на полуговете, става богат.
Yes, because Krishna is Madhava. He is the husband of the goddess of fortune.
И чудващо, защото Кришна е Мадава, съпруга на богинята на щастието.
So how is it that somebody, and he is of course he is the Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the proprietor of everything.
И разбира се, той е Сарвалока Махешварам, собственикът на всичко.
So how is it that the devotees of Krishna, they become poor if he's so rich?
Че преданите на Кришна
Is he a miser?
бедни, въпреки че той е най-богат.
And then you have Shiva, who doesn't even have a house. He lives under a tree. And his devotees become millionaires.
Шива, който няма дори къща и живее под дърво, тези, които го обожават, стават милионери.
So, therefore, Shukadeva Goswami, he says, your grandfather, King Yudhishthira, after completing his Ashvamedha sacrifices, asked Lord Achyuta this very same question while hearing the Lord's explanation of religious principles.
И Шукадева Госвами отговаря. Твой дядо, цар Юдхиштира, след като завърши своите жертви Ашвамеда, попита Бог Ачюта същия въпрос, докато слушаше обяснението на Бога за религиозните принципи.
So this question pleased Sri Krishna, the king's lord and master who had descended into the family of Yadu for the purpose of bestowing the highest good on all men. And the Lord replied as follows, as the king eagerly listened.
Този въпрос удовлетвори Шри Кришна. Богът и господаря на царя, който беше се появил в семейството на Яду с цел да даде висшето благо на всички хора. Богът отговори следното, докато царят внимателно слушаше.
So the personality of Godhead said, if I especially favor someone, I gradually deprive him of his wealth. Then the relatives and friends of such a poverty-stricken man abandon him. In this way he suffers one distress after another.
Божествената личност казва, ако аз съм благосклонен, особено благосклонен към някого, постепенно го лишавам от богатството му. Тогава роднините и приятелите на такъв обеднял човек го изоставят. По този начин той страда несполука след несполука.
Okay, so this is a long purport, which you can do tomorrow. We will see a few purports of Srila Prabhupada on this subject matter. You can go to the 8th canto, chapter 22. There are a lot of quotes, and we have a few. He mentioned, we will take those basically who are in his books. And in his lectures he also quotes this. The first part, Yasyaham Anugrinami Harishyetadanam Shanai, is a very often quoted part of this verse.
Първата част на стиха, Прабхупада цитира много често и ще изберем някои цитати от негови лекции и коментари.
So we will go to chapter 22, verse 11. This is now Bali Maharaj speaking after Vamana Deva took away everything.
Сега отиваме на 8 песен 22 глава. Бали Махарадж говори на Бога, след като той му отнел всичко.
So he doesn't complain.
Той не се оплаква.
Like generally we would do. I'm your devotee, why I am now in this situation? No, don't I deserve? Give me something. No, Bali Maharaj, he says, only by providence have I been forcibly brought under your lotus feet and deprived of all my opulence. Because of the illusion created by temporary opulence, people in general who live under material conditions, facing accidental death at every moment, do not understand that this life is temporary.
Поради иллюзията, създадена от времето богатство, хората обикновено си живеят в материални условия, изправени пред смъртта във всеки миг и те не разбират, че този живот е временен.
Only by providence have I been saved from that condition.
Само провидението ме спаси от това състояние.
Purport, Bali Maharaj appreciated the actions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although all the members of the demoniac families except Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj considered Vishnu their eternal, traditional enemy.
Бали Махарадж оценил дейностите на върховната личност, макар всички членове на демоничното семейство, освен Пралад Махарадж и Бали Махарадж, считали Вишну за техен вечен враг.
As described by Bali Maharaj, Lord Vishnu was actually not the enemy of the family, but the best friend of the family.
И както обяснява Бали Махарадж, Вишну не е всъщност врагът на семейството, но най-добрият им приятел.
The principle of this friendship has already been stated.
И принципът на това приятелство вече беше споменат.
Yasyaham anugrinami harishye tatanam shanai. The Lord bestows special favor upon his devotee by taking away all his material opulences.
Богът проявява особена благосклонност към предания, като му отнеме материалните богатства.
Bali Maharaj appreciated this behavior by the Lord.
Бали Махарадж оценил това поведение на Бога.
Therefore he said, Daivena nitak prasabham tyajita shri. It is to bring me to the right platform of eternal life that you have put me into these circumstances.
Затова той казва, за да ме издигнеш на истинското ниво на вечен живот, ти си ме поставил в тези обстоятелства.
Then we go, same chapter, text 16. Now, Prahlad Maharaj speaks. He's also there. He's the grandfather of Bali Maharaj.
Сега отиваме на същата глава, 16 текст, където говори Пралад Махарадж, който е дядо на Бали Махарадж.
So Prahlad Maharaj said, My Lord, he's addressing Vamana Deva, it is your lordship who gave this Bali the very great opulence of the post of heavenly king, and now, today, it is you who have taken it all away.
Пралад Махарадж казва, Господи, ти си, който даде на Бали необятното богатство и поста на цар на рая и сега днес ти му го отнема.
You have acted with equal beauty in both ways.
Ти прояви еднаква красота и по двата начина.
Because his exalted position as King of Heaven was putting him in the darkness of ignorance, you have done him a very merciful favor by taking away all his opulence.
Тъй като възвишената му позиция като цар на небесата го постави в тъмнината на невежество, ти му даде най-голямата милост, като му отне всичките богатства.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As it is said, Yasyaham anugrinami harishye tattanam shanai. It is by the mercy of the Lord that one gets all material opulence, but if such material opulence causes one to become puffed up and forget the process of self-realization, the Lord certainly takes all the opulence away.
Както се казва, Ясяхам анугринами харишye tattanam shanai. По милостта на Бога, човек получава всякакви материални богатства, но ако такива богатства му причинят или го накарат да се възгордее, да забрави процесът на себепознание, тогава Богът със сигурност отнема всички богатства.
The Lord bestows mercy upon his devotee by helping him find out his constitutional position.
Богът показва милостта към своя предан, като му помогне да открие своята изначална позиция.
For that purpose, the Lord is always ready to help the devotee in every way.
Затова Богът е готов да помогне на предания по всякакъв начин.
But material opulence is sometimes dangerous because it diverts one's attention to false prestige by giving one the impression that he's the owner and master of everything he surveys, although actually this is not a fact.
Но материалните богатства понякога са опасни, тъй като отклоняват вниманието на човек и той се възбудява измамно, като изоставя, защото понякога е опасно, тъй като отклонява вниманието към измамен престиж, давайки импресията или впечатлението, че човек е собственик господар на всичко, което вижда, макар това да не е факт.
To protect the devotee from such a misunderstanding, the Lord, showing special mercy, sometimes takes away his material possessions. Yasyaham anugrinami harishye tattanam shanai.
За да спаси предания от такова погрешно разбиране, Богът, проявяйки специална милост, понякога му отнема материалното притежание.
Then we can go 5th canto, chapter 14, the forest of material enjoyment, text 10. The conditioned soul sometimes personally appreciates the futility of sense enjoyment in the material world, and he sometimes considers material enjoyment to be full of miseries. However, due to his strong bodily conception, his memory is destroyed, and again he runs after material enjoyment just as an animal runs after a mirage in the desert.
Сега отиваме в трета песен. Това е главата за 14-та глава за гората на материалното наслаждение. И в текста се казва: благословената душа понякога лично оценява безмислието или разбира безмислието на сетивното наслаждение в материалния свят. И понякога счита материалното наслаждение да е причина за много страдания. Обаче, заради силната си телесна представа, паметта му се губи и отново тича след материално наслаждение, също както животното тича след миража в пустинята.
Purport. The main disease in material life is the bodily conception.
Пояснение: главната болест в материалния живот е телесната представа.
Being baffled again and again in material activity, the conditioned soul temporarily thinks of the futility of material enjoyment, but he again tries the same thing.
Разочаровани от материалните дейности, отново благословените души временно си мислят за безмислието на материалното наслаждение, след това отново се опитват да постигнат също.
By the association of devotees, a person may become convinced of the material futility, but he cannot give up his engagement, although he is very eager to return home back to Godhead.
Чрез общуване с предани, човек може да бъде убеден за материалното безмислие, но не може да изостави заниманията си, макар и да има силно желание да се върне обратно при Бога.
Under these circumstances, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart, compassionately takes away all the material possessions of such a devotee.
При тези обстоятелства, Върховният Бог, който е в сърцето на всеки, състрадателно отнема материалните притежания на такъв предан.
As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.88.8, Yasyaham anugrinami harishyatanam shanai. Lord Krishna says that he takes away everything from the devotee whom he especially favors when that devotee is overly attached to material possessions.
Както се казва в Шримад Бхагаватам 10.88, Бог Кришна казва, че той отнема всичко на предания, към когото той прояви благосклонността си, когато този предан е твърде привързан към материалните притежания.
When everything is taken away, the devotee feels helpless and frustrated in society, friendship and love.
Когато всичко му отнето, преданият се чувства безпомощен и разочарован в обществото, приятелството и любовта.
He feels that his family does not care for him any longer, and he therefore completely surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord.
Тогава той чувства, че семейството му вече не го грижа за него и затова напълно се отдава в лотосните нозе на Бога.
This is a special favor granted by the Lord to a devotee who cannot fully surrender to the Lord due to a strong bodily conception.
Това е специалната милост, дадена от Бога на предан, който не може да се отдаде изцяло заради силната си телесна представа.
As explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22.39, Ami Bigya E Murke Bishoy Kene Diba. The Lord understands the devotee who hesitates to engage in the Lord's service, not knowing whether he should again try to revive his material life.
Както обяснено в Chaitanya Charitamrita, Богът разбира преданият, който се колебае да извършва преданнослужене и не знае дали трябва отново да се опита да възвърне материалния си живот.
After repeated attempts and failures, he fully surrenders to the lotus feet of the Lord.
След повтарящи се опити и провали, той изцяло се отдава в лотосните нозе на Бога.
The Lord then gives him directions, and attaining happiness, he forgets all material engagement.
Тогава Богът го насочва и постигайки щастие, човек забравя всички материални занимания.
And then one last purport, 4th canto, chapter 22, verse 36.
И последен цитат. Which chapter?
22.
36, okay.
Yes, this is the Kumaras are with Prithu Maharaj, and in the purport, Prabhupada says, it is said by the Lord, Yasyaham Anugrinami Harishyetattanam Shanai. The Lord told Yudhishthira Maharaj that his special favor is shown to his devotee when he takes away all the devotee's material opulences.
Казва се от Бога. Ясяхам Анугринами Харишyetattanam Shanai. Богът казва на Йудhishthira Maharaj, че неговата специална благословия се появява към предани, когато му отнема материалните богатства.
Generally, therefore, it is experienced that Vaishnavas are not very opulent in the material sense.
Обикновено виждаме, че вайшнавите не са много богати от материална гледна точка.
When a Vaishnava, a pure devotee, tries to be materially opulent and at the same time desires to serve the Supreme Lord, his devotional service is checked.
Когато един вайшнава, чист предан, се опита да бъде материално богат, в същото време иска да служи на Бога, преданото му служене е възпрепятствано.
The Lord, in order to show him a special favor, destroys his so-called economic development and material opulences.
Богът, за да му покаже специална милост, разрушава така нареченото икономическо развитие и материално богатство.
Thus, the devotee, being frustrated in his repeated attempts at economic development, ultimately takes solid shelter under the lotus feet of the Lord.
Така преданият, разочарован в повтарящите си опити към икономическо благосостояние, в крайна сметка приема устойчив подход в благословително взаимно Бога.
This kind of action may also be accepted as Isha Vidvam Shitashisham, whereby the Lord destroys one's material opulences but enriches one in spiritual understanding.
Този вид действие може да бъде прието като Иша Видвам Шиташишам, където Богът унищожава материалното богатство, но дава богатството на духовното разбиране.
In the course of our preaching work, we sometimes see that materialistic persons come to us and offer their obeisances to take blessings, which means they want more and more material opulence.
В нашата мисионерска дейност понякога виждаме материалисти да идват при нас да се покланят, за да получат благословие, което означава, че те искат още материално богатство.
If such material opulences are checked, such persons are no longer interested in offering obeisances to the devotees.
Ако не могат да се получат материалните богатства, такива личности повече не се интересуват да отдават почет на преданите.
Such materialistic persons are always concerned about their economic development.
Такива материалисти винаги са загрижени за своето икономическо развитие.
They offer obeisances to saintly persons of the Supreme Lord and give something in charity for preaching work with a view that they will be rewarded with further economic development.
Те отдават почет на святите личности или на Върховния Бог и дават някаква благотворителност за проповядването с намерението да получат обратно още повече икономическо развитие.
Yes. I have direct experience of this.
Имам личен опит с това.
In Malaga, when I was temple president, there's an Indian community, so one of those who have business and a lot of money, he came one day and he actually watched on Mastami and gave 100 euros.
И в Малага, където бях храмов президент, има индийска общност и на Джамашта наведнъж дойде един богат джентлмен и даде 100 евро.
Normally they go to the box and you hear the sound of some coins. But he came to me personally to, that I should know this is coming from him. It's 100 euro, not just a few coins. So I thank you so much. You're so kind and generous. So the guy was honest. He said, yeah, but I know Thakurji, the Lord, he will give me back 10 times and more. And it's true. This is how it works. For those type of people, generally. So Krishna may give, However, when one is sincere in his devotional service, the Lord obliges the devotee to give up his material development and completely surrender unto him. Because the Lord does not give blessings of material opulence to his devotee, people are afraid of worshipping Lord Vishnu, because they see that the Vaishnavas who are worshippers of Lord Vishnu are poor in superficial material opulences.
Понеже Богът не дава благословие на материално богатство на своите предани, хората се страхуват да обожават Бог Вишну, защото те виждат, че вайшнавите, които са обожатели на Вишну, са бедни на повърхност. Изглеждат бедни от материална гледна точка.
Such materialistic persons, however, get immense opportunity for economic development by worshipping Lord Shiva.
Такива материалисти обаче получават възможност за икономическо развитие, обожавайки Шива.
Because Lord Shiva is the husband of the goddess Durga, the proprietor of this universe. By the grace of Lord Shiva, a devotee gets the opportunity to be blessed by the goddess Durga. So, we can see the theme in all these purports is the same. It's very easy to understand.
темата във всички тези коментари е същата. Лесно е да се разбере.
Actually, we can go to another part 1:826, I think, the prayers of Queen Kunti, where she explains why being opulent in devotional service is not such a good idea.
Един стих и коментар в първа песен, където царица Кунти обяснява защо материалните богатства не са толкова добра идея.
Another famous verse, Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribir Edamana Madak Puman Naivar Hatyabidatum Vaitvam Akinchana Gocharam. My Lord, she addresses Krishna when he was leaving for Dwarka. Your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling.
Това е известна молитва на царица Кунти, когато тя се обръща към Бог Кришна, който се тръгва тогава за това. И тя казва: мой Господи, ти лесно можеш да бъдеш достигнат, но само тези, които са материално бедни. Защото човек, който е по пътя на материалния прогрес, опитвайки се да подобри своето почтено положение, богатства, образование и телесна красота, не може да се обърне към теб с искрено чувство.
Yes, mada, you become crazy, intoxicated. That we see in the world. Purport: being materially advanced means taking birth in an aristocratic family and possessing great wealth and education and attractive personal beauty.
Материалният напредък означава раждане в аристократично семейство, много пари, образование и привлекателна красота.
All materialistic men are mad after possessing all these material opulences, and this is known as the advancement of material civilization.
Всички материалисти са луди по притежанието на тези материални богатства и това е напредък, се счита за напредък на материалната цивилизация.
We can see that. I mean, it's not difficult to understand. And of course, everybody's interested to know about these people. It's big business, the yellow press, it's called. You must have also this press. It's everywhere. And depending how many people are in the country and how big the country is, you have a whole selection of magazines all about the same subject. Yes, the so-called beautiful people. Either you are very beautiful, or you are very rich, or you're very powerful, or, well, education is not an issue, basically. So this is Kali Yuga's advancing. Yeah, sometimes even that, but generally it's the other three. Aristocratic family. They will all want to know about, this royal family and that royal family and what they were doing and what the scandal, the latest scandal is. And sometimes the whole magazine is dedicated just to make a reportage about the home of that person. Every single room from different angles, and the big bed, and the swimming pool, which you can. The infinite swimming pool is the latest thing, Infinity pool, and then the garage opens with all the different cars inside.
Когато е цялото списание посветено само на репортаж за домът на такъв богаташ и се показва всяка стая, спалнята с царското легло, с басейна, който няма край, после се отваря гаража с всичките коли.
And of course, and the result is that by possessing all these material assets, one becomes artificially puffed up, proud, intoxicated by such temporary possessions. That's in the point.
Прочетахме точно, това е описано, че заради тези всички притежания човек се опиянява и се възгордява заради измамното чувство, че притежава всичко.
Now comes the problem.
Но сега е
Therefore, it's not recommended.
не се препоръчва.
So, consequently, what's the consequence of all that?
Какви са последствията от тези притежания?
Such materially puffed up persons are incapable of uttering the holy name of the Lord by addressing him feelingly, O Govinda, O Krishna.
Следователно, такива надути материалисти са неспособни да повторят святото име на Бога, като се обърнат към него с чувство О Говинда, О Кришна.
It is said in the Shastras that by once uttering the holy name of the Lord, the sinner gets rid of a quantity of sins he is unable to commit.
В Шастрите се казва, че когато веднъж повтори святото име на Бога, грешникът се освобождава от повече грехове, отколкото е способен да извърши.
Such is the power of uttering the holy name of the Lord.
Такава е силата на повтарянето на святото име на Бога.
There is not the least exaggeration in this statement.
Това твърдение не е изобщо преувеличение.
Actually, the Lord's holy name has such powerful potency.
Действително святото име на Бога има такава сила.
But, now comes the but.
Но,
But, there is a quality to such utterances also.
но това повтаряне трябва да има и качество.
It depends on the quality of feeling.
Зависи от качеството на чувството.
A helpless man can feelingly utter the holy name of the Lord, whereas a man who utters the same holy name in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere.
Един безпомощен човек може с чувство да повтори святото име на Бога, докато човек, който повтаря някакво свято име, със същото свято име, обаче с материално задоволство, не може да е толкова искрен.
A materially puffed up person may utter the holy name of the Lord occasionally.
Понякога материално надутия човек може да повтаря святото име на Бога.
But he's incapable of uttering the name in quality.
Но не може да го възпява качествено.
Therefore, the four principles of material advancement, namely high parentage, good wealth, high education, and attractive beauty, are, so to speak, disqualifications for progress on the path of spiritual advancement.
Затова четирите принципа на материалния напредък, именно аристократично семейство, богатство, образование и красота, така да се каже, са дисквалификация за напредък по пътя към духовното осъзнаване.
The material covering of the pure spirit soul is an external feature, as much as fever is an external feature of the unhealthy body.
Материалната покривка на чистата душа е външно проявление, също както и температурата е нещо външно за външен признак за болното тяло.
The general process is to decrease the degree of the fever and not to aggravate it by maltreatment.
Обикновено ние трябва да намалим температурата, а не да усилим с неправилно лечение.
Sometimes it is seen that spiritually advanced persons become materially impoverished.
Някога се вижда, че духовно напреднали личности стават материално бедни.
This is no discouragement.
Това не трябва да ни обезкуражава.
On the other hand, such impoverishment is a good sign as much as the falling of temperature is a good sign.
Такава бедност е добър знак, също както падането на температурата е добър знак.
The principle of life should be to decrease the degree of material intoxication which leads one to be more and more illusioned about the aim of life.
Принципът на живота трябва да бъде да намалим степента на материално опиянение, което води човек още и още към илюзията относно целта на живота.
Grossly illusioned persons are quite unfit for entrance into the kingdom of God.
Грубо обърканите личности са неспособни да влязат в царството на Бога.
So, any comments or questions?
Коментари?
Yes.
You see, Maharaj, that there are devotees who are very rich. And also there are those who desire to have wealth so that they can preach more and assist the mission.
Yeah, well, let me see whether I have this. I saw it and I didn't put it, but Prabhupada said that this verse we had today and the subject of Yasyaham Anugrinami Harishye Tatanam Janai is generally for devotees who are not very advanced.
Бях го видял, но не го извадих този цитат. Шила Прабхупад коментира на едно място, че точно този стих се отнася за предани, които не са напреднали. Те са начинаещи.
Maybe I can find it. But he said, so if somebody is qualified, then Krishna, just the opposite may take place, that Krishna may give all facilities, all opulences, because the devotee knows how to use it. He doesn't become edamana, mada. He doesn't become crazy and forgets the Lord.
И ако преданият е квалифициран, може да се случи точно обратното. Кришна да даде много богатства, защото знае, че преданият няма да бъде опиянен от тях.
So, that's the idea.
I think it was in the 8th canto also.
Yeah, I mean, he said it gives all facilities, sometimes that may happen.
Прабхупад казва, че Кришна дава всички условия, всички богатства.
But if he sees that somebody becomes bewildered, then take it away. In one purport I saw also, he says it's like a father who sees that the child is going about to do something which is harmful.
Един коментар той сравнява такава ситуация с бащата, който вижда детето, което ще направи нещо опасно.
Sometimes, probably will sooner or later find out and they'll like to get a knife. It's a very interesting instrument. So then you may rather take that away, especially when they're still very small and they don't exactly what to do with this knife. Let's see what happens if I put it into your eye. So then you take that away, and of course the child will protest and cry and curse you, whatever. But it's a great favor you have been doing.
Ти ще го вземеш, той ще плаче, ще крещи, ще проклина. Но всъщност показваш му специална милост.
So therefore it was pointed out that a sincere devotee will not protest. He will not accuse the Lord or become resentful. That's the word.
И затова се казва тук в този текст, че искреният предан няма да се противопостави, няма да негодува.
Even in calamity, and that's the biggest test.
Дори когато се случи нещо неприятно, и това е най-големият тест.
I mean, one thing is you lose some money,
когато изгубиш пари.
But what about losing a very dear person in your family, let's say? Or accident, you lose a leg or both legs, or fatal disease, suddenly a tumor is discovered in your brain and you have 4 weeks to live.
губиш кръка или краката, или пък ти открият някаква болест и тумор в мозъка, оставате 4 седмици.
Yeah, whatever may happen, one may think, and many people will think, why me?
Каквото и да се случи, ние може да си помислим, много хора го мислят, защо на мен?
And if they have no knowledge and they feel that they are actually pious persons, they will say, I don't deserve, then there's no God because I don't deserve this. I've been very faithful going to church, every Sunday and praying, and I've never done any sinful life, basically. They don't know that eating a poor animal. But anyway, so they don't know, so they're accused. So why me? They look at my neighbor. And he is, enjoying like anything, and he's a degraded rascal, thief, practically criminal.
И ако нямат знание, такива хора дори да са много благочестиви, те не могат да разберат и те могат да изгубят вярата си, ако се случи такова нещо, обвинявайки Бога, защо на мен? Аз съм благочестив, не съм извършил никакви грехове, ходя на църква, моля се всяка седмица, но виж съседа ми, той е грешен, крадец, окаян.
Yeah. So then this question comes, why bad things happen to good people? And good things happen to bad people. This is proof there cannot be a so-called God.
Защо се случват такива лоши неща на добри хора и на лоши хора им се случват добри неща? Това е доказателство, че няма Бог.
We know why this happens, but the so-called bad people, they have been good in the past, so they now can enjoy a little bit, and then
тези, които са извършват злини, са били добри хора в миналото и затова сега могат да вкусват от плода, тези добрини, но ги чака друго последствие.
Like the sage who blesses different people, the Rajaputra Chiranjiva, the prince, you live forever.
Както този мъдрец, който благославял различните хора по различен начин. Той казал, един принц живее за винаги.
Why? Because now you can enjoy, but once you die, then hell awaits you. So better you continue to live. Don't die.
Защо продължаваш да живееш да умреш? Сега като живееш се наслаждаваш на ситуацията, но когато умреш ще отидеш в ада.
And the Muniputra, you can die because you don't have anything. There's nothing to enjoy in this world. You just leave your body and get to a better situation.
Muniputra, ти нямаш нищо с сината. Мъдрец, ти нямаш нищо. Можеш да напуснеш тялото сега да отидеш по-добра ситуация.
And the butcher, you don't live, you don't die.
А наказателят му казал, не дей да живееш, не дей да умираш.
Because your life is horrible, and after death it will be more horrible.
Сега вече животът ти е ужасен, а след смъртта ще бъде още по-ужасен.
And the devotee, you can live or you die, it doesn't matter.
А на предания казал, и да живееш, и да не живееш, няма значение.
So, but the point is that, yes, nothing is by chance, so if somebody apparently is enjoying, there have been pious in their past lives, and somebody who has to suffer, they may be very good now, but in the past they did something to deserve it.
Нищо не се случва случайно. Те, които макар и не благочестиви сега, се наслаждават, това означава, че преди са били са извършили добро. Докато те, които сега са вършили добрини, нещо са направили в миналото и сега трябва да стават.
So, anything else?
Нещо друго?
So we're doing good today.
Yes. But it's Sunday.
Oh, yeah, so then it's up to you. I said everything I had to say. Well, there's a lot more quotes. I mean, if you're interested in another one. This was all about from the books. Then, of course, in the lectures, there's still, I don't know how many more. Well, at least more than 40 quotes in lectures. Probably. Many times quotes this. Yeah. So here he says, for example, at 74, yes, sometimes Krishna shows the mercy to his devotee by making him poverty-stricken. So he quotes Yasyaham Anugrinami. Therefore somebody is afraid of coming to Krishna. So, many people are afraid to go to Krishna. But Krishna is also very kind. When you become actually a devotee, then Yogakshema Tvam Mahamyaham, there will be no scarcity. So whatever you want, it will come. So our Krishna consciousness movement is teaching, educating all over the world, and there's no distinction. So he's actually talking to Indians in Calcutta. So these Europeans, Americans, they are mlechas and yavanas. Mlechas are those who eat meat, and yavanas who don't follow religious principles. So one should not think, so these peoples are like that, so they cannot take to Krishna consciousness. It's only for the brahmanas and kshatriyas. But then Prabhupada says they are brahmana. Anyone who becomes a devotee, he is better than a brahmana. Krishna says, Mami partavya pasrita. It doesn't matter wherever he is born. If he surrenders, then. Yeah. So Krishna is open to everyone. So then Prabhupada tells a little bit the story how this question was coming about. So Maharaj Yudhishthira, he was asking Krishna like indirectly. So we are your friend, right? So why we are put in such tribulations that we have lost our kingdom, we are now living in the forest, our wife is insulted. Yeah, why? Good question, obviously. So then this was the reply, Yasyaham Anugrinami, Harishyata Dhanam Shanai. Krishna said, when I make one especially favored, then I take away all his riches to make him Nishkinchana. Yes. Or Akinchana is the same. Akinchana Gochara, Queen Kunti said. We become poverty-stricken and nobody cares for him. Then he fully surrenders to Krishna. Just like Narottam Das Thakur says, and he quotes from Hari Hari Bifale, that, what is it? Nataliyo Rangapai, Tomabineke Acheamar. This position is very nice, Nishkinchana. I have lost everything. I'm not cared by my family, my friends, so everything I've lost, therefore I'm forced to come to you and surrender. Well, actually this quote from this song is, please don't kick me away, please give me shelter. Then, what else we have? Another one, 73. It's the same thing. I mean, it's already said. We've said it several times. So there's nothing more to say. Then Prabhupada talks about himself. Yes, we have. Yes, that's right here now. This we have here right now. And he says in the beginning, I do not wish to narrate.
Първо той казва, не искам да разказвам.
But it is a fact.
Но това е факт.
So he says, actually before, he quotes Yasyaham Anugrinami, he says, so Krishna says, a special favor, I take away all his income, very dangerous.
Кришна, когато е благосклонен, може да отнеме приходите и това е много опасно.
Yes, I've got my practical experience in this connection. That is Krishna's special favor. I do not wish to narrate. My Guru Maharaj ordered me when I was 25 years old, you go and preach. But I thought, first of all, I shall become a rich man and I shall use that money for preaching work.
Първо си казах, нека да стана богат човек и така ще използвам богатството си за проповядване.
So that's a long story. I got good opportunity for becoming very rich man in business.
Имах много добри възможности да стана богат в бизнес.
And some astrologer told me that you should have become like Birla.
И един астролог ми каза, че трябва да стана като Бирла.
Birla is like today's Trump, you know, but better, of course. But with this, billionaire. It's still there. One of the richest families in India. So there was chance. There was very good chances, very good opportunities. I was manager in a big chemical factory. And I started my own factory. And the business was very successful. But everything was dismantled. I was forced to come to this position to carry out the order of my Guru Maharaj, Akinchana Vitaya. When everything was finished, then I took Krishna. And so this is... But now I am realizing that I have not lost, I've gained. So, to lose material opulences for Krishna's sake is not loss. That's the greatest gain. Okay, so then he quotes again Narottam Das Thakur. Okay, anything else? You don't dare to ask, I know. Yes, don't ask a question if you don't want to hear the answer. That's good policy. But it will not change the facts. Be prepared. Yeah. All right, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Sri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.